Today's speaker is Melody Krafft.
Okay, good morning. Good morning. I want to talk today about surviving the storm, and I'm not talking about snow or ice. Okay, so I'd like for us to look at the challenges that we have and how we cope with them. You know, on a personal level and on a collective level, you know, many of us today are just kind of feeling overwhelmed with life's rough waters. You know, so how exactly do we subdue the seas of our life? Do we simply write it out? Or do we fight with it? Or do we change our direction, change our course? You know, what exactly does it take to survive the storm? You know, how do we learn to survive life's rough waters and be the captain of our own ship? How do we navigate our soul and receive inner guidance? How do we survive the most frightening storms on the seas of our life? Any storm can ignite fear, but it can also ignite our soul. You know, storms really are disguises. They come when we're not paying attention. You know, it's really a battle between our ego and our soul. You know, we tend to think that it's all happening out there, that it's outside of ourselves. You know, that we're caught in forces that are really more powerful than we feel that we are. But storms require us to look within. And within lies peace that no storms can touch. You know, a captain of a ship drops anchor to keep the ship from drifting off. And the reality is that we too are the captain of our ship, and our anchor is to reside within the stillness of our soul, especially during rough waters. You know, because this is really our real home, and it's within us wherever we go. For here we can never be lost. This is our true home, a place of peace and stillness that storms cannot touch. You know, it's within our soul that we can really keep our focus. And this is our task. We often think our task in life is to accomplish things, accumulate things, you know, receive recognition. And you know, our soul knows nothing of this. To be the captain of our ship means focusing on where we are and what our destination is. So I want you to think about this. What is your destination? Another way of saying this is, what is your purpose in life? And I know that you've all asked yourself this question before. Yeah. You know, and to be the captain of the ship, you must become aware of your destination. You must become aware of your purpose. You know, turbulence in life is a wake-up call. During turbulence, in order to survive, you really must find yourself. And it's a call for soul awakening. And within this, you will find your strength to face any storm. When you find yourself in fear, rise above the storm. You know, rise above the background. And when you stop and rise above it, you're now in a place where you can see the circumstances differently. And the only requirement is you just need to be quiet and listen. Now, I know that's not always an easy thing to do. Simple, yes. Easy, no. And you may think, well, how exactly do I rise above the storm, you know, when I'm in it, because it can feel so overwhelming. You know, and when it's overwhelming, that's exactly when you most need to rise above it. I mean, think about it. When you're in the middle of a storm, you really can't think. You're just reacting. Know that the particular challenge that you're facing has a purpose for your soul. You weren't just randomly chosen as a victim to experience a storm. So think about that. The reason for any storm in your life, it's because it's a part of your sacred contract. So don't fight it. Find the lesson within it. And that's how you walk out of a storm. You know, if life were easy, what exactly would be its purpose? You know, we only learn when we confront our fears. You know, someone asked me recently, she says, you know, I really want to do what I love, but I'm afraid. So I sit and I ask for the fear to be taken away. Well, it doesn't exactly happen that way. So fear is never taken away, but fear dissolves when you walk through it. You know, it's like if there's something that you want to do and you're seeing like this big closed door in front of you and you're like, oh, how can I get through that? But if you walk through it and then you turn around and look back, you're going to find that there never was a door there at all, that you just thought that there was a closed door. When we keep thinking there's closed doors in front of us, the energy of fear builds into a storm. We can dissipate storms by being willing to walk through our fears. You know, storms and battlegrounds they're not a form of punishment. They're really opportunities to go deeper within our soul and to remember the truth of who and what we really are. You know, so just slide into your soul, and you're going to find a strength that's always been there, one that's born of reality and not illusion. You know, the Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh explained, when the crowded Vietnamese refugee boats met with storms or pirates, if everybody panicked, all would be lost. But if just one person remained calm and centered, it was enough to show the way for everyone to survive. You can be that one person. If a storm brings out the fight in you, ask yourself exactly, what are you defending? When we fight, it means that we believe there's something there to defend. You know, this physical world that we live in was created out of a single thought that we took seriously. And we thought we separated from perfect oneness. You know, that thought was the seed for all storms. All storms, really at its core, are all the same. They just appear differently. So any false thought about yourself is a storm waiting to happen. When you're ready to look at your self-limiting beliefs, then you can just peel them away. You know, every time you peel back a limiting thought you have about yourself, you're stepping out of fear and you're stepping into a deeper place of peace. Okay, so here's a common example of approaching storms, and I'm sure we've all done this at times. Okay, so you're feeling overwhelmed by responsibilities, and everyone's counting on you, and you're running and you're rushing from one task to another, one place to another, and you really don't have time to rest, you know, and you don't have time to take care of yourself. You know, these are building blocks of a storm, you know, and these are clouds gathering until you feel overcome. And you tell yourself, well, you're being responsible, this is your job, you're being good, and after all, isn't that what God wants? Well, the simple answer to that is no. We all go through a stage in our spiritual journey where we feel to be good is the goal. But there's a step beyond that. There's a step to becoming aware of truth. You know, saying to yourself, I need to be good, is really coming from a place of separation. Because what you're really saying is, okay, God, I'm doing my best to be good, so don't punish me. It's not fully recognizing that the essence of what you really are is that you're already good. God's just waiting for us to wake up, to step out of fear, and to step out of storms. So our job is to step into peace and the knowingness that we're all one. Maybe this sounds a little too impractical. We think, well, how do I change the madness that I see all around me? We keep thinking, how do I navigate storms in my life? What is the answer to this storm? And that storm is as if each storm is different. And the answer is always the same. It's to anchor yourself deeply within your soul. There you will never be lost. Never be confused. Never be a victim. For this is your true home. This really is where all your answers lie. So just be still and listen. All the lessons in our spiritual journey really are simple. You are the captain of your ship. Drop your anchor and remember that peace resides within you. Just be willing to remember it. Thank you.